Welcome back to Instant Boxing. I'm your host, Albert Baker. Follow me on Twitter at @TheAlbertBaker. It's time for the opening bell. Today's opening bell segment, you had David Lemieux versus Curtis, the cerebral assassin Stevens. This was a fight that I don't think got the attention it should have gotten in the lead up, but a big reason for that is because both guys have very notable losses to middleweight kingpin Triple G. Nevertheless, Lemieux Stevens delivered. Opening this fight, on the televised undercard, you had Yorkis, El Ciclón de Guantánamo. Gamboa took on rugged Rene Alvarado from Nicaragua, perennial measuring stick. Alvarado, not necessarily the most skilled guy in boxing. However, he's going to come in, he's going to make you work. He's going to make you earn that victory because he's going to be there all night. Doesn't necessarily go away easy. Gamboa boxed well, didn't get hit, more athletic than Alvarado, did what he does. Gamboa didn't necessarily look as fast as he had looked in the past, but the guy's been off for a year. Gamboa just got his tax return and said, I think I'm going to go buy some gloves. I think I'm going to go buy some shorts. Maybe I'm going to get me a fight, sign me a new contract. I'm going to put this tax return to use. Gamboa did look good, looked about an eighth, maybe a quarter step slower than his previous self. However, he did set him up for a good fight in the future. Lots of talk between him and Vasyl Lomachenko, but Lomachenko fights at 130, and I don't necessarily see Gamboa going all the way down to 130. This fight was at 135, and word on the street was that Gamboa came in weighing close to 150 during the fight. That's a lot of weight to cut down. Maybe if he has some more time, a full training camp to go in against the Lomachenko, that could be something that's worth seeing. David Lemieux, Curtis Stevens fight overperformed. First round, Lemieux came forward aggressive. I'm thinking to myself, he's gonna burn himself out. Second round, Curtis Stevens starts firing that sneaky left hook counter on the inside, backing Lemieux off of him. In the third round, Lemieux, Stevens exchange left hooks. Lemieux gets there first. Lemieux tells Stevens, hey, I know clocks just went forward an hour. You're going to lose that hour of sleep, buddy. I don't want you to do that. Lemieux tags Stevens, goes down asleep on the way down, taken out on a stretcher in one of the most gruesome scenes in boxing in most recent years. Definitely a knockout of the year or contender for knockout of the year. Lemieux sets himself up with the WBO Continental America strap. This sets Lemieux up for good fights in the future. If Golden Boy doesn't make Lemieux versus Canelo, or Lemieux versus Triple G in the rematch, or Lemieux versus Saunders, it's gonna be very, very disappointing. I'm not sure Golden Boy wants to risk Canelo against a guy like Lemieux now because he's looking about as dangerous as Triple G, although Lemieux doesn't quite have the boxing skill Triple G does. But tell me, comment down below. I wanna know who you wanna see Lemieux fight next. Guy just made a very big name for himself, kind of rubbed that loss off to Triple G a little bit, brought his name back in the spotlight, created a little bit of buzz, a little bit of excitement. I know I definitely want to see his next fight again, and I'm sure you do too. On Showtime, two-time U.S. Olympic gold medalist Clarissa Shields took on former world title challenger Sylvia Sabados. Referee jumped in the fourth round to save a flailing Sabados. Shields looked good, but there's still some rawness there left over from the amateur days. I think Shields needs more fights to develop her professional style. It's still a good thing though that she's getting to headline cards because it's a positive movement towards women boxing. I'm not saying that women's boxing is going to outgrow men's boxing, but it still provides positive role models for young women in the sport. Also, on Friday at the Belasco Theater, downtown Los Angeles, Golden Boy Promotions on Estrella TV, co-main event, kid from Santa Ana, Alexis Rocha, looked good in destroying Marcus Bedford of Long Island, New York. First round, overhand left, puts Bedford down. Second round, combination to the body. Bedford goes down again at the end of the fourth round. Bedford's corner says, you know what, that's enough. We've seen enough. Let's go ahead and call a halt to this fight. Rocha picks up the TKO victory. Rocha, of all the Golden Boy prospects, has me the most interested. Kid's a welterweight, shows crazy power, has really solid skill and fundamentals. It's going to be interesting to watch him develop and grow, especially as his competition gets tougher. Golden Boy should be smart with this guy and move him along appropriately. In the main event, Christian El Chimpa Gonzalez was taking on ruthless Romero Duno. This was a fight that I don't think anybody knew who Gonzalez's opponent was coming in. Nobody did their homework on this guy. Gonzalez was a big favorite. Nobody knew anything about Duno from the Philippines, much like Manny Pacquiao came in and starched Ladwaba years back on an Oscar De La Hoya undercard. Duno came in, put Gonzalez to bed first round. Duno, power becomes evident. Gonzalez, who's a big puncher himself, fighting for the WBC youth silver title. Gonzalez landing big shots, but Duno All it took was one hard left hand, put Gonzalez down, almost out, makes it to his feet, stumbles back to his corner at the bell. Second round, Gonzalez came back out, started to trade. I'm thinking to myself, he might be back in this fight. Duno said, "You done know. I'm about to end this shit." Duno cracks him with another hard shot on the inside. Gonzalez goes down, makes it to his feet, but as he's walking back to his corner when the ref calls the fight, he falls and collapses, exits the ring on a stretcher in an ugly scene. The crowd was silent as Gonzalez was rolled out of there. Duno's camp going crazy. Nobody knew who this guy was, but everyone in Los Angeles wants to see him again. It's time for the word on the street. Word on the street is, coming off of his sensational victory over Curtis Stevens, David Lemieux may be first in line to become Canelo Alvarez's warm-up opponent in the event Alvarez picks up a victory over Chavez Jr. in May before fighting Triple G. I'm not necessarily positive this is gonna happen. I don't really think Golden Boy wants to risk the cash cow, the money bringer, Canelo Alvarez against a guy like David Lemieux. If they're gonna risk Canelo Alvarez, they may as well risk the guy against the guy that everybody wants to see him fight, because David Lemieux poses a serious threat to Canelo's victory-going ways. Just the same way Triple G does. Now, Triple G, I think, poses an even bigger threat because Triple G can box a lot better than Lemieux, but Lemieux possesses the same type of knockout power that Triple G does. Do you really want to risk the mega fight between Triple G and Canelo? Because that is a huge fight with a dangerous guy like David Lemieux. I don't think Golden Boy wants to take that risk. And that's the word on the street. InstantBoxing.com. That's it. That's it. This week's Instant Boxing Spotlight brings you brash Irish Olympian Mick Conlan as he prepares to make his pro debut March 17th on St. Patrick's Day at Madison Square Garden.
This is the rock. And this is why it's the best. Type of fighters are here, all talented fighters, all trying hard, and I'm happy to be a part of it because, you know, we've got some tough guys here. Feeling good, you know, the training's been done, all the hard work's been done. Now I just came to enjoy myself and let fake week build. I've had a tough camp, you know, I've had great sparring, and I'm just looking forward to going in there and performing. I know it's especially does not happen on your national bank holiday in Madison Square Garden, you know. So for me to happen on St. Patrick's Day in Madison Square Garden, it's a dream come true, and you know, it's something that I don't think has been done before. And I feel that, you know, I'm the right man for the job, and it's something that I've asked for all my life, and I'm glad it's finally coming. Yeah, you know, it's fantastic. It's another one of the main reasons I came here. You know, like Oscar and Jesse, both are in my division, both from places where I want to be in the future. And you know, what better way to learn and get there than learn from the best, the world champions. And you know, it's definitely a pleasure to be here and see how champions like these guys work.
The Keyboard Cartel segment is brought to you by the man that you see selling oranges on the side of the freeway, the homie Big Sal.
Paulie Malignaggi finally retires after 19 years in the sport. His body finally told him what everybody else saw 3 years ago after the Porter fight. Salute to you, Paulie. Enjoy your retirement, buddy. According to Angel Garcia, only Magnums are sold in Philly. Salute to you, my big dick friends. Oh yeah, and Vanes, Wesley Snipe called. He wants his haircut back.
In this week's post-fight cooldown, viewership numbers for Garcia Thurman peaked at 5.1 million. This proves that when you have the best fight the best, like Errol Spence and Kell Brook are going to be doing later on this year, you are going to perform with viewers. Fighters, if you are not facing who the fans want to see you face, don't expect the seats to be filled with asses come fight day, and expect the level of your paychecks to drop. No one gives a shit anymore about your O. No one cares if you take a soft fight. Fans want to see good fights. Don't be surprised when you start losing them. And that's the post-fight cooldown.